Oh yeah, brother. Nice. How the fuck are you, brother? Send me that hot shit. I wanna listen to it. Come on, hurry up, because I wanna go on tour and shit.
It goes another 20-year-old.
Holy shit, I hate those guys.
Gotta hate 20-year-old.
Fuck those guys.
Somebody help these 20-year-olds.
It's time to figure it out, Ricky.
Yeah.
Touch me.
Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me.
Kev Dog. We're live in a new setting here.
Look
Cabo
where we
Kev.
at. First of all, let me just preface this new place with some pigeon noises, because it seems like I'm going to be hearing that every morning for the next fucking however long we stay here. We have a bit of a pigeon problem, and
I haven't slept here yet, so I don't know.
I woke up this morning
how bad
to
the
a little
pigeons
bit
are.
of I'm like thinking, you know what? How long can a pigeon really consistently make noise for without getting tired of it? Turns out it's about 20 to 30 minutes in a row.
If any of you guys were wondering.
If any of you guys were wondering, pigeons do not get tired of their own fucking.
You know, kind of like Travis though. You know, he'll keep chatting your ear off just as long.
You call me a
if you
fucking
engage
pigeon
him.
dog?
A lot in common.
I think it's a good alarm clock. If it's
So-
like 9 o'clock in the morning.
As long as it's consistent. So we'll check in tomorrow. Let's start things off with You're on Too Many Jams, a show about all things 20-year-old.
With help from friends, family, and experts, we hope to shed some light on those things that seem to leave our age group lost and confused.
If you've noticed, we all have matching slippers, slipper gang.
Check it.
Woo! I'm doing gang signs
Courtesy
right now.
of Kev,
Straight
who
from
was recently
Cabo.
in Cabo.
Dreams.
Doing big gang signs
Good
into
resort.
the camera right now. We're in our new place. This is our new roommate, Keb, also known as Cabo Kev, K-Dog, The Last Samurai, Jewel
Also known
God.
as Sauvignon LeBlanc.
Sauvignon LeBlanc. His
How's it
last
going?
name is LeBlanc. He's our new roommate. Kevo, say what up.
How's it going, guys? Happy to be here.
Tell us 3 quick things about yourself.
Well, I'm technically not in my 20s anymore, so hopefully we don't have to stop the podcast right now. That's okay.
Who better to reflect on his 20s than a man who
Exactly.
just completed them?
Yeah. So I have a lot of guidance to share with you guys, hopefully. I listen to a lot of podcasts, never been on a podcast. So
What
I'm
are
very
some of your
excited.
favorites?
You know, the classics, like mostly comedic bullshit ones, like Joe Rogan. I like Ari Shaffir. There's a new one listening to called Tiger Belly. Really good.
Yes, you were
Bobby
talking about that
Lee.
earlier. Okay,
That
I'm gonna have
one's
to
like-
check that out.
Very like
What's that about?
it's very honest conversations, but like nothing really. I don't know. It's just nothing. Just very interesting conversations, but nothing like productive.
Nothing productive. Nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of like ours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fun.
time killer.
Exactly.
And lastly, number 3.
Number 3, like a good,
Deep Dark Secret.
good scotch on the
Oh,
rocks.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Not a big
Yes.
secret.
Not a
Kev
big
is
deal.
also a
Cheers.
stud bartender and brought along with him his collection of
This is
spirited
also-
drinks.
Also
what
from
label
Cabo.
is this?
This is the black one.
Black label.
Black label. Johnny,
Johnny Walker. I don't know anything about labels. Is that a good label?
It's a good label.
It's one up from
It's
red.
like a industry standard.
Wait, so you were gonna pour us red, and then you decided to up us to black?
Yes.
You bougie ass
Premium
bitch.
shit.
Red is like the poor man's Johnny Walker.
That would be like
Black
me.
Black is like, okay, you know what, you've you're all right.
I
You
should
have
be
someone.
drinking red label because I was on a double date tonight. And my card got declined.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. And I was
And
like,
then,
"Hey, do you mind?
Tell us about it.
Do you mind picking this up for me?" And then it's okay. I don't know why. Like I looked at my bank statements. Everything's fine. I have no idea why I would get declined. And it didn't even say declined. It said non-sufficient funds or funds not available, which normally you get on maybe a debit card, but this is my Visa. And the girl was like, normally you see that when there's like the card's been compromised or something. And I'm like, thanks, server. You are making me feel better, but I feel like there's something else afoot. And then I get outside of the bar, and immediately a homeless guy hits me up with a story. You know, he's like, I've tried all the shelters tonight. None of them have rooms. There was a mistake. I was supposed to have like a bed at one, and they made a mistake, and now I have to sleep outside tonight, and it's so cold. And he's like, I only have 30 cents in my pocket. So I was like, fuck, all right, man. I gave him a $10 bill. I was like, I hope this is the truth in my mind, because I'm clearly in a financial bind myself. But I did think about it. I was like, at least I have a place to sleep tonight. So all I had was 10 bones. I would give him credit card, but clearly I'd get declined.
Yeah. Cash only.
You know what? I gotta say I'm guilty of that a couple times also because my phone is, because my credit card is linked up to my phone, I find myself just not bringing my wallet a lot of places. So I'll go to restaurants and whatever, and I won't have my wallet with me, and they don't accept tap. So, you know, it kind of falls on Olivia to to pick up the tab.
Classic move.
Well, yeah, you know what? I think the people on the double date were people I know. You know, they're not judging me too hard.
Yeah, it's fine.
They hopefully they listened to the episode where they heard how much money I got to spend this month. But here we're in the new place. Part of the reason why maybe I was declined, we're sitting in it. Nothing is set up. If you look, if this camera were to pan around, you'd see boxes and shit everywhere.
If you're looking at my room, you'd see like bags and just boxes. Not even a substantial bed yet.
His bed's in a box.
Yeah.
He bought one of those box beds.
We're gonna do an unboxing of the bed.
Yes, that'll be next.
You know,
My room
next
looks pretty good.
episode.
Yeah, Kevin was here a couple days early, and his room is perfectly set up. He also lives like a samurai and has a kimono.
I do.
He looks kind of like a drug dealer would look, you know what I mean? But like the one from like Pineapple Express, you
Yeah,
know, like an
friendly.
eclectic drug dealer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Are we talking about James Franco here?
Maybe.
Mm.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. We also have a fireplace. Let's flick this
Oh
bitch
yeah, turn
on.
that on. Let's show that.
Right on my back. Let's go.
Gas fireplace, not a big deal. Rich.
Yeah, light it up.
Light it up. So yeah, Kev, you've met our other roommates. So it's Robbie, Kevin, Travis, Kristen. Kristen's been on a few episodes. Kevin, this is his first episode, so we thought we don't even know the guy.
Sure.
You guys might as
We
well.
moved in together. We barely know each other.
I hardly know him. Kevin gives off. We bartend together a lot, so that's why we're drinking a little whiskey right now. But
Kev just gives off great vibes, you know. Super chilling guy, super laid back, fun to work with. He likes to drink. He's down to get dirty, you know. Whatever that means. I don't know, but
Appreciate it. Yeah. All good.
yeah,
things.
we just came back from a good shift tonight, and stoked about the new place.
we're sitting in our living room. Nothing's moved in. It's been so hectic. We hardly have been able to get any guests together. It's late on the Tuesday, but Robbie and I, we made a commitment. We said we're going to do one every week, and it's been a bit of a fucking challenge. Last week, we had some technical difficulties with the video, so we put the podcast out without a video, but we'll get that video out too. Oh my God, never film a podcast on a GoPro. Can we say that?
No, we haven't talked about that yet, or maybe we spoke about that last week.
Okay,
But
so Kev, before we get into you and everything about you and all your deep dark secrets, and your kill count and all that stuff, we film right now on like a Canon camcorder. The whole episode, maybe 40 minutes to an hour, it is about 2 gigabytes.
yeah,
Nothing crazy. It pops right in my video editing software, no issues. Robbie's GoPro likes to slice the entire footage up into 12 to 18 minute chunks, each of which is 2 gigabytes. I don't know how the fuck it's so much information.
1080.
yeah.
At
It's
least.
so annoying. What are you doing?
What are you doing? And also it's in a radical fisheye.
Yeah, it sees all. Like literally, you catch the whole half of my room in that view.
So we haven't been able to edit that up because I still haven't been able to download all 10 gigabytes of footage from the drives because we haven't had internet because we've been moving. It's all set up though.
Yeah, while I'm thinking about it, this just popped into my head. But from the Super Bowl, what were your thoughts on the halftime show? Because everyone's shitting on this performance.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I agree. Like I thought it was like whatever. Maybe it wasn't like Lady Gaga's or whatever, but
Yeah.
there was no like crazy. Like remember that one year there was like the Disco Shark or whatever. Like the
Yeah.
like there was SpongeBob for a minute, like I don't know, 15 seconds, but I don't know. It was like fine.
I thought it was fine too, and everyone's chirping Maroon 5, being like, "Oh, they're not a halftime show act and stuff." Like they're big, like they can definitely handle it. But what I thought was funny, what I was more thinking of though, is I happened to catch this morning show the other the other day, and there's this panel of women. I think it was The View. Do you know that show?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So they were talking about the halftime show, and then the one woman tries to chime in, you know, like not saying good things about the halftime show, and then she brings up Big Boy. She's like, oh, and we had you know, they had Big Boy performing with them, you know, who's like one half of Outcast, but where was Andre 2000? Like
She fucked that up.
she fucked that up. She, you know, she's trying to make comments on this show, and she calls him Andre 2000. I'm like thinking to myself,
babe.
babe.
No, but what I heard on the radio today that was interesting about it is apparently they don't pay the halftime shows.
I read that also.
So it's for
Really?
Yeah, it's like they're like, hey, if you want to perform, it's obviously a mega stage, hundreds of millions of people watching.
You pay us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like they don't pay, so people step up. I thought it was fine. I don't know. Everyone just I feel like we're in an age of complaining about everything.
Dude, we're in a total age of complainers.
Yo,
Like everyone likes to fucking shit on everything.
Shut
because
up.
they have because they have the platforms to do so, right? They shit on things and then they hide behind their like profiles, their online profiles.
I would love to open up the lives of everyone that shits on it and see how mediocre and lackluster everything they do is.
seriously.
Speaking of complaining, though, does this fireplace stink a little bit?
I didn't want to start complaining, but it's like my back's on fire.
Yeah, we're
right
gonna
now.
check this off.
Yeah, okay,
And
let's turn that off. It's
can't
got
even
like
see
it's got like a gas fireplace smell to it.
It's the smell of when the fireplace hasn't been turned on in a while. My gas fireplace at home does the same thing.
Yeah.
The dust ignites and it smells a bit like a burning.
Smells like dust.
But we do have a fireplace, which is cool. So
Yeah, because we're rich. Okay, let's get into Kev, dog.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's.
Enough with the funny business. Kev, what is a day in your life like?
Well, I guess lately, just ripping like sit bar shifts and whatnot, so it's like pretty cash. But I don't know. I'm a pretty lazy guy. I don't really do a lot.
Yeah, you're lazy. You're
Yeah.
what's a word like homebody, couch potato? Like what are you thinking?
I am, but I'm always down to do something. My thing is like I feel like I'm creative, but I don't have like I just like put it off. So that's why I was excited about moving with you guys, because you have the podcast, the band, like just like
We can
creative people.
extract creativity from
Yeah,
you.
it's like kind of put a fire in my butt, and I'll just like
Literally,
yeah.
you have a fire behind your butt.
I could tell you a few things about Kev.
Okay.
Let's do that.
He plays frisbee.
Mm.
He likes frisbee golf, which is
No, not frisbee golf. Ultimate frisbee.
Sorry, ultimate frisbee is what I meant
Get
to
it
say.
fucking right.
But
The ultimate.
You know, I like that because there's nothing worse than playing frisbee with like someone who can't throw a frisbee.
Yo,
True.
Right?
Mhm.
You know, so it's nice to know that there's a
we can eventually, when it's warmer outside, play frisbee with them.
yes.
It
It's
is
nice to know
embarrassing.
there's like a good frisbee person. Kevin is also a photographer.
Mhm.
I don't know to what extent, but I know you enjoy photography.
I did used to
Like,
like I had a lot of
photographer.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's like my aesthetic.
Yeah.
I did some wedding photography. I used to work for somebody who did like shot for like dancers and whatnot, but not like the fun kind, more like just like yeah.
Like boring dancers.
No, I mean like not like strippers. or anything.
Strippers.
Yeah, no, like people who just like to dance.
Oh, that's the name.
Yeah. Well, the funniest was I used to shoot for like high schools, like for their photo ID, which is really what killed all my
strippers.
passion. High school, high school stripper IDs.
That killed all your passion,
Yeah.
eh?
No, it was literally it was like.
I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah.
This was hilarious.
I was all fired up about it, and then it pretty much you go 6 a.m. to like set up, and it's a different high school like every couple days, whatever, like through Markham and whatever, all over the place. Set up shop, and then it's just all these shithead teens coming through to take their photos, and we had strict instructions like you can't. Obviously, you want to do some cool like you're this joke's high school person.
Gang
Like,
signs.
what if can I do this? And I was told like if I do that, I lose my job. So
Nice.
I had to put the foot down and be like, no, you got to just look this way, whatever.
Listen, you teenage fucking losers.
And you shoot like
Do what I tell you.
yeah, it's like 300 kids a day. So just like it was like a conveyor belt. So I lost all my interest in photography whatsoever.
By the end of the day, how like angry, stressed out,
Yeah,
annoyed were you?
yeah. Like definitely at a 10. Like we're more. I just felt like shitty because I was like, yeah, if I was in your shoes, I'd want to be having fun too, but I'm forced to do this. I'm sorry. Just sit your ass down and smile.
I saw this guy on YouTube that he takes for all his photos, like his driver's license, passport, and stuff like that. He's able to do a fucked up face because he will hold the face the entire time.
That's hilarious.
So he'll walk in with a new face each time, like,
They can't go on it.
and then he'll walk up and be like, yeah, I'd like to my driver's photo. And then they're like, oh, this guy's face is fucked up.
You can't see this if you're just listening right now, but Chav's face looks fucked
Yeah,
up.
I was doing a fucked face. Speaking of which, we do have video on all our episodes except for last week, which is going to come out late because I need to download a terabyte of GoPro porn, basically.
Oh wait, and before I forget, let's just comment on the person who commented on Annika's interview.
So yeah, we had Annika on. Annika Boren, I guess she's popular on YouTube because her episode has like
All the views.
all the views. We put out videos and they get like maybe 50 to 100 views because we just started the video aspect. How many does Annika's have?
Annika's has got over 1,000 now. And one Steven Stamkos.
Steven Stamkos comment. Do you think it's a real Steven Stamkos?
I don't think it's a real. I mean,
Yeah, you never know.
yeah, you
eh?
never know with her
Imagine Steven-
affiliation with.
Especially with what he said. Imagine Steven Stamkos just going out of his way to.
He's down a deep YouTube hole and just like stumbles on
Yeah.
it.
But also good on this guy for snagging the Steven Stamkos YouTube
Right.
account and finding Annika's page. What did he say? What was his comment?
He what's it called? He like
Time tag.
time tagged, exactly. He time tagged a point in the interview. And he's like, definitely had a threesome after this. But then it like came up in the notifications and emails and whatnot. And then you go to find it and it's been edited now.
He's edited it.
So it just says LOL at this time tag, and it's kind of an irrelevant time
I
tag.
hate to break it to you for you Stamkos,
Stamkos.
but the internet is forever. And we saw the first version of your comment.
Just to let you know.
Where you said, bet you had a threesome after this. We did not. Yeah, sorry. Like that's how the world works. Once the cameras go off, yeah, it was honestly almost less than 10 seconds before dicks were in bots, fingers in bots, going down on PPs,
Sucking down on farts.
You got
outrageous
fun. What, this guy doesn't like beer. Do you know that video we're referencing, Kevin?
Yeah.
You know the
I
one?
think I know the one. Yeah.
Outrageous fun. That's a good one. So yeah, Steven Stamkos, thanks for the comment, and also Annika,
Yes.
thanks for being YouTube popular.
Yes. And thanks for coming on our show.
That was a highlight episode. A lot of people liked how we
Good response to that.
Yeah, we ate vegan food beforehand. Kevin, I'm
mukbang.
going to be honest. We didn't have really time to prepare for you. And last week, our guest bailed on us, so we had to do another impromptu episode. And apparently, another listener reached out and said I repeated a story.
Oh no.
The carnal offense of podcasting.
Yeah.
I repeated the story. I think I might have told in our like first 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
Of the squirrel story in the wall.
So many episodes back. It's hard to remember, man. Been doing this for
Some hardcore audience you got here, like they're following.
No, I love it. Yo, call us out. We need a producer. We need someone who like.
Kev, you want to be our producer?
I'll be your producer. Yeah.
Whoa, producer
I'm good at that
Kev.
shit.
Whoa.
I'm good. Like I'll be the guy who yours are doing it. Then I'll just click in and be like, just one little thing, and then I'll like be in the
I
background.
love it.
Yeah.
Kev's our new producer. Wow,
I mean, I set up the lights already. Like I was already
yeah,
on that
perfect.
shit.
Kev did set up. We don't have any lights. We had nothing. We're sitting on the floor. To paint a picture, we're sitting on the fucking floor.
Mm-hmm.
So Kev's our new
Paint a
producer.
picture. Yeah, we're on the floor right now.
Okay, so Kev, what did you think about Robbie and me when you first met me, when we picked you up for that first shift to go to that nightmare wedding shift out in the country?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Cause I remember, Trav picked me up. So usually our shifts are all in Toronto, so it's all within like a 20 to 30 minute kind of commute. This one was up north, like north of Barrie or something. So within the shift, like, okay, we'll figure out rides. Trav's gonna pick you up, and we'll pay for your trip or whatever. So Trav picks me up with, I forget her name. Callan. Yeah, that was Callan.
Shout out Callan.
Shout out Callan.
Shout out.
And I first only know Trav from the Slack we have, like the whatever messaging channel.
Yeah.
And Slack's Trav's picture is of what is it?
Larry the Enticer.
Larry
yeah,
the Enticer, which
Full mullet.
Yeah, so I thought that's who was picking me up. I'm like, oh, this guy looks like a beauty.
You thought I looked like Larry the Enticer?
Enticer was?
No, I know who he is, but it was just like a little icon, so I just assumed it was that kind of guy.
He's literally my icon on our company Slack is
fucking
Larry the Enticer with a
hilarious.
mullet giving the shocker symbol. My job I wrote as 10 bars. My status is sending it. Like my permanent status on the app is just sending it. And then what's his famous line?
Oh,
Send
still gonna
it.
send it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe that's all there is to say.
Yeah.
That's good.
So and then it was
thought I was
also
gonna be beauty
Tremondo was like the is your handle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this beauty is gonna pick me up. So first I was thrown for a loop because I'm like, okay, this guy looks like a little more normal.
Heavily let
but-
down when I
heavily-
picked you up, eh?
And then I was right in the back. I remember I was kind of like, I was intimidated, but I was like, I don't know these people. And you guys kind of knew each other. So you guys are chatting it up. I'm kind of in the back, just like put my 2 cents in. And Callan was kind of like, I don't know, she was hungover. She was just kind of telling us her story from the last night.
They're
She,
just
like,
open
lost her
girls.
phone.
Yeah.
Just like, she had like
she's
a
a
few
bit of an
stories.
open book.
Just
Yeah.
like Annika, like they'll just like you'll sit down with them the first shift. You'd sit down with them and they'll just be like, "Yeah, my boyfriend left me. This was what happened, and like this is how I feel about it. Like I'm this and I'm that." And like, it's a lot of. I'm not gonna like dox Callan on this, but she told me a lot of information that first shift I
Yeah.
worked.
I think
with her.
she's friends with Annika, aren't they friends?
Yeah, maybe that's why
Friendly?
they get along. They just spill beans all over each other.
I remember when we got to that venue though, and when we first got there, I drove the truck with booze with Eddie out to
Eddie's our boss.
out to the barn, and when we got there, you had told Callan the gas story.
Oh yeah.
So we got there. She's like, "Oh, you wrote a song about me."
Holy shit. So if you guys have heard Gassed, it's on our SoundCloud page. It's also, we told a story about how one of the girls, so Gassed is a song about getting gassed by girls. Robbie and I
Yeah.
wrote it kind of in a fun tone.
There's a few notables.
And it's about, we were just getting gassed a lot. And the song's become a little bit of a hit. And we've been playing it at shows. And one of the girls that, the Tinder line I sent her, that's like the opening line of Gassed, she came around full circle at the show and was like,
Take me out.
Take me out on a date. You know what I mean? And then
That's so good.
one of the girls that Robbie got gassed by right when we wrote the song was Callan.
Yeah.
So she was like, I told her the story and she was like, "What? You guys wrote a song about me?" Like, they wrote a song about me, like all this stuff. I'm like, all right, a small influence. All right, let's not get ahead of
Small
ourselves
influence on
here.
the song. Yeah,
There's
you know,
also-
you're one of a couple.
Yeah, you aren't the only girl gassing us. Don't feel special.
I've been gassed a lot.
We get gassed all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly about his ex-girlfriend, I'd say. And then, so we get to this wedding shift way out there in the boons, and it's raining, and they want to do an outdoor bar. And I see the rain, and I'm like, oh, look like the outdoor bar is not happening for the wedding.
Well, we had set up. It was looking nice, and the rain kind of came out of no. I
I
mean,
could see like ominous black clouds, like
yeah, it was
right in front of
moving
us.
in,
and like they're still like, yeah, no, it's still outside bar.
but I didn't know it was going to be an absolute downpour.
Well, so what happened is it starts downpouring, and we hide inside. And we're like, okay, cool, no worries. We're not going to do this outside bar. And then the wedding planner's like, we looked at the weather, we looked at the predictions, and the rain's going to stop at the exact right time for the wedding. So, like, I could tell what she's alluding to, but Eddie's like, so we're going to have to set this bar up in the rain? And she's like, yeah. And I just see Eddie look to me like I'm like the shithead guy that's got to do this. I'm like, no.
and nothing had been pulled from the fucking truck yet. Like, we're still unloading this stuff on site, like into the barn and into the outdoor bar.
So he put me on eat the shit duty. And he's like, Trav, go out there and set this bar up in the pissing rain. And it was cold. And I have the least body mass out of anyone. I shiver easily. And I'm out there shivering. Guests are arriving. And I'm just like blue in the face, chattering, like setting up this bar.
And
Would you
they
like some
forgot.
sparkling?
They forgot to pick up Prosecco. So he sent me to LCBO's in town. I had to drive the thing.
You had to drive a car into town. Oh, was that a rough go? I was literally getting pissed on. I was soaked to the core. You know when you're so wet?
Yeah.
My shoes are wet, my socks, my underwear.
Yeah.
And it was like a 12-hour shift, and I had to bartend after soaked. That was a bit of but highlights of that, beautiful wedding.
Very nice wedding. And you know what? In spite of all the rain, it happened to clear up just as they were doing the outdoor ceremony. So it actually worked out quite well
For
for
you
them.
guys, I was soaked.
I was soaked too.
Oh, yeah, you were soaked,
I was
yeah.
like
I was
running
as well.
in and out of the barn.
I was getting
bringing all
yelled
the
at
shit
the whole
in.
time. And I was new to Sip Bar, so I was just taking it.
But the wedding was it was a race car driver and like a celebrity PR
There were
person.
some cool people there.
So
like a media company
There was some
sort of thing.
celebs there. One notable was the property brother, the single one, and he asked Callan out.
Yeah, and that was funny because I was. Oh shit!
It was empty.
No, it was not empty. There was an entire spill on the couch, on the carpet.
That's all right.
It's
First
now
spill in
empty.
the new house on
first
Robbie.
spill.
If I had to
Watch
put a
your-
bet on who would spill first in this house, Robbie would be up there.
Yeah.
Probably top 4.
No, but I remember I was working with Callan a few weeks after, and she was showing me that this guy, the one property brother who had just broken up with his longtime girlfriend
Wife?
or wife, maybe I don't
Long
was it
time
his
wife? Friend?
I don't know.
Still married. Divorced.
I don't really follow those two dudes, but anyways, he had sent he was trying to take her out, and he had sent her a NFA or NDA, exactly.
Or like some sort of like contract.
Yeah, and she was showing me at
Callan?
at the shift. Yeah, this guy, he had an NDA that he sends out to the girls that he wants to take out just to like protect himself. But it was like kind of
being a celebrity
outrageous
in this day and age, I
Jeez.
guess, right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know about it though, right, Kev? Not famous yet.
Well, yeah, like you can't like slide to DMs without first sending out an NDA.
Do you send NDAs?
Yeah, like that's the first thing. That's how you slide in.
So Kev, God bless his soul, was actually supposed to go out tonight with a lady friend and bailed for the boys. And because it was kind of late, but especially for the boys.
Yeah, I mean the shift went late, but for the pod, for the cast. Yeah.
And we appreciate it. Now we have a guest and we don't feel so hack. Kev, let's talk about your 20s.
All right, where do you want to start?
Maybe at age 20.
Where did your 20s start? Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
where did your 20s start?
Yeah. So I guess University of Guelph was when I turned 20.
Oh,
You went to
Guelph.
Guelph.
I did, yeah.
Okay,
Go,
cool.
Good school. Go Griffins.
Go Griffins.
Oh yeah.
Go Griffins. And
Okay.
what'd you take?
I took physics and philosophy.
Wow, it's good to see a nice application of that degree.
I'm a bartender.
Yeah, a lot of physics involved in bartending, and
Yeah.
I think even a lot more philosophy.
Oh yeah.
And okay, so you're taking physics and
And
philosophy.
where'd you grow up?
Mississauga.
Mississauga. Okay.
Meadowvale to be particular.
Oh, I know Meadowvale. Were you a
MDV.
party boy?
It was one of those things I was always like, I don't know, having fun in high school, like within like, I don't know. It wasn't like I wasn't necessarily the most popular, but I was within that group.
Like B list.
I was B list, yeah, hardcore.
I like that. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a better list to be on.
Like a B
I had-
plus list.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I was invited. I wasn't necessarily like I'm not friends with a lot of those people anymore, but yeah.
I actually identify with that. I feel like I was a B-lister in high school,
I feel like I was in that area also.
but I never wanted to be on the A list because the A list was
They peak early, kind of.
they peak early, but also I just didn't gel. Like it's like I could be a part of that crew, but I was I just didn't feel like the same. We didn't talk about the same stuff. They would invite me to parties to be a clown, basically. Like I was like a bit of a jokester, a bit of a class clown. So like, invite that stupid. No, I'm just kidding. Invite that like funny kid. Like he'll make us laugh. And
He'll do what we say.
And then I'd invite my B-list crew, and we ended up always being invited to the parties. My high school was really good about it. Like everyone was really close, inclusive. We knew which ones were our tight group of friends. So like B-list is more like a joke on things, but I'm still super tight with my high school crew, and I think they all blossomed into wonderful A-listers.
Yeah, you got a good tight knit crew of guys that you still hang out with. from
We were
high school.
definitely A-list in uni though, for sure. Like we peaked at the right time, I think.
bowls in first year.
Huh?
From those videos.
What?
Those videos I used to see of you, Merc, and who's your other? Was
Mitch,
it Mitch? Was
yeah,
it Mitch?
and our RA roommate.
Yeah, and you'd be wearing those white big sunglasses.
Playing Bob Marley, smoking weed.
Yeah, and Merc would show me these videos of you guys all the time, just ripping the like biggest bowls. It was hilarious.
So jokes on Merc. Quick story. So not a big weed guy, but in first year, first time living away from home, I got big into weed for no reason. And we would just smoke it a lot. And Merc would take videos of us while we were like passing the joint around in the room playing Bob Marley dressed like idiots. And we were like, don't save these. Like, it's going to come out to incriminate us later. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to save this and blackmail you. Joke's on you, Merc. It's legal everywhere now. I also think he lost those when he lost his computer. So, Kev, you were partier in uni. Like, what was your deal?
Yeah, like definitely definitely met a good group of guys in university. Like those guys I'm still friends with. Like my first year buddies, we moved in like to a place in Toronto. Like we moved out.
Strangers you met at school?
Yeah, like
Cool.
actually within the first week, we're just like good buddies kind of thing. So that was more what I met, like guys who are just like really vibed with kind of thing. And it was funny too because they were on the 7th floor of Addington. Fuck yeah, go Addington.
Is that like a party res or?
It was that year.
Yeah.
They were on 7th floor, and quickly got like a reputation for like the saying was hard as nails, like 7th floor, hard as nails, whatever. It was just written all over the place, you know. Everyone knew. But
Everyone knew.
I was on the 6th floor. so
6th floor, hard as dicks.
Hard as dicks. 6th floor, also we're good. Yeah, no. But no, I'd go. My buddies were up there, so I'd party with them. And then pretty much, I don't know. I feel like I was always like right in there, but sometimes would not go out. Like I was sort of like, again, party adjacent. It would pick my
Party
times.
adjacent.
Yeah.
That's a nice word. Like you liked having your escape.
Yeah.
You couldn't live in it.
And even like at one point, my buddies moved into a place together. I decided to move downtown because I wanted to be with my cool like people who were like into music and bands and all this shit. Mm-hmm. For a while, I felt like I wanted to be in that scene. Like, oh, I want to be with the music people.
Big music guy, by the way.
Yeah.
What are your top bands that you like? What kind of music do you listen to?
Tangent alert.
All right. Real quick. Or I was into Father John Misty, like that guy a lot.
Cool.
I don't know. I always ended up listening to like random fucking like house music too. Okay. Like real, I don't know, random by like Fisher. He's a big one
Like
right
DJ
now.
Fish?
DJ Fish.
Trav loves Fisher.
I fucking love that guy. We fucking love it.
Love it.
And he's also a character. That one song that he just came out in like the last couple of years, I keep hearing in like DJ sets.
Losing it.
I'm losing it. Yeah.
I'm
big
losing it.
big
Yeah.
fan of that one.
Hearing it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like him a lot. I don't know. Disclosure. I'm so bad when it comes to people who are just like, say like I'm DJing and someone's like, what's a good song? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Bit of
like,
a tough
I just
question
like,
there.
Yeah,
it's
let me
hard
just
like on the
cruise
spot.
through
Bit of
my.
a tough question there, but every time we talk about music, you seem to know the people we're talking about, or have like you
have a
do
good
follow-
knowledge.
You have a good
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
I feel like I have good taste.
So you're with these cool music people downtown. School kind of flyby. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you worried about graduating?
Yeah, I was garbage at school. Like all my friends
Yep,
took
same.
a 5th year. Yeah, and I
Can't-
took a 6th.
Can't relate. Super smart. Very good at it.
Can't relate. No, it was funny though because I was downtown, like living in a cool house, like downtown Guelph is where all the bars are and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my buddies were like a little further away, so we'd rip it and whatever. But then the friends I thought I wanted to hang out with, I realized like, oh no, like I was almost having an identity crisis. Like, oh no, these are actually my people, the ones that I left behind, kind of things. I had to go away.
You don't
to
know
then come
what
back
you
and
have
like,
till it's gone.
exactly. I'm like, no, these
Yeah.
are my people. So then, ended up, I don't know, graduating a little later. So
You took a victory year, kind of.
took 2. Or I took a victory year, and then I still had like 2 courses to finish. So I finished that after I moved home.
Were you working as well?
Yeah, I worked some random ass jobs while I was doing that.
What kind of jobs?
I was a lifty at Glen Eden for a season.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
I always picture that being the most boring job on the face of the earth.
It was.
Okay, cool.
And it was like, I feel like my whole
And
life.
you're cold and
You're just kind of, it's like lackluster. Everyone I worked with too was in high school. Like I'd be talking to them. It's like, I feel like my whole life's like that. I'm kind of like 4 years ahead, like talking to people, but I'm always older than them. But I'm like talking to them, and then all of
What'd
a
you get
sudden
up
they're like,
today? I was at school.
yeah,
Okay.
like,
cool.
oh, what do you got going on this week? Like, oh, we got prom coming up. I'm like, okay.
Prom.
Sick.
Can I come?
Yeah. Like, I'm just kidding.
Can I chaperone?
Yeah.
So we were at the Skeel a few weekends ago when it was negative 24, and we're dying. Like
It was
you can't get warm.
Unbearable.
And
Where
the
were you guys?
lifties, we're at Sir Sam's up in Halliburton. The lifties standing there and the entire day. And every time I went by him, I'm like, this poor soul, that must be the worst job in the world.
I was thinking the exact same thing the entire time. Like, how are you staying warm out here? Like, how are you
You take
even
shifts. So there's a guy
managing?
inside and a guy who's outside.
Okay.
what's the guy inside doing?
It's like you're kind of doing the same job, but now with the new lifties or new lifts, there's like 2 things. So you know the ones that slow down before you get on them.
Yeah.
So the guy who's outside is doing nothing. But where I worked, you had to actually like
Hold
slow
it back,
hold
yeah.
it back. So you're like doing a service kind of thing. And also if someone falls, you're the guy who's on the handle, like slow it down
Any
type
good
deal.
falls? Did you see any wicked falls?
Yeah, there's always those. Like people who just get like on it a little
Mowed
bit and they
over?
just go
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing funnier than a good like lift
accident?
Yeah,
accident,
it's like
or
a-
especially T-bar.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. That's like the most dangerous. Everyone goes there because they don't know how to ski. So like I want to be like safe. It's the most dangerous spot in the hill.
T-bars
is
are way sketchier than chairlifts.
Yeah. Bunny Hill is the worst.
Do you see anyone fall off like 10 feet after they got on?
Yeah. It was more like
Oh shit!
6. They're kind of like mostly kids, unfortunately. But
Carries them like 6 feet and then they
yeah, then they fall. Yeah.
That happened to me as a child. That's why I ask. I fell off a chairlift probably 20 feet after I got on. I did the old lift to readjust. Ski got caught in the like little boot, the little
Yeah.
things you can rest your skis on. That
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
ski
Hang
got
upside
caught,
down.
and I flipped out the side and fell.
Shit.
Fell as a child into.
Did you break anything?
No, because I fell into like netted off bushes.
Oh, okay.
Very fluffy.
Wow.
Hard to get me out. though.
Fortunate.
Yeah.
for a while.
It just reminded me. Have you seen that
Lift video. You're gonna ask
the
me?
lift video?
Yeah.
The freak accident in Aspen, I think it was. Was it Aspen?
I'm not sure. but it was
Somewhere in
like-
Colorado, I believe.
where the whole thing shut down and it started going in reverse really fast.
Yeah, and it was insane, and it was just fucking
Mocking
zooming by,
people.
and people
Yeah.
were just flying
Did
off the
anyone
lifts. They
die?
were trying to. I don't know. I feel like they're still dealing with the aftermath and lawsuits with that.
all the
whole
chairs
thing.
get caught in the one spot. It's just yeah.
I'll have to rewatch that. Do a little research.
So you were lifty. Any other weird jobs?
Let me think. Yeah, beyond that, like the photography one was pretty fucking random. I worked for the Blue Jays for a little bit as an event activation team member. So like, you know, like remember like we had one candidate for the Blue Jays who had like the big Canadian flag.
Yeah.
I was on the field holding the flag.
Oh, killer.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was part of that. You know.
Yeah, you're part of something big.
Yeah. I still have my resume. You know.
Big as in Canadian flag.
Yeah.
Big Canadian flag at the Sky Dome. Big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flag
like-
holder, Sky Dome.
That was
Kevin, nice to
me.
meet you.
I
you
was
that guy?
I did a shift. You know, like they have Junior J Saturday. I was like in the dunk tank for a little bit with like
Oh,
the opposing
nice.
team jersey, just like taunting everybody, like just sending it. Yeah,
You've had some funny jobs.
I know, very random job. I worked for Elections
The photography
Ontario.
one kills me.
Yeah, that one was like I don't know. I was still really into photography then, but I
So,
knew, yeah.
Ontario, you worked for Ontario. So you're graduated at this point. Do you have any fucking clue what you want to do?
No, and that point too. Or yeah, that's like around the same time I got into like the whole restaurant thing. So that's like what really took off in terms of
I
like
was just passionate for the service industry.
yeah. That's what you do
And-
when you really don't know what you want to do. Like, it's like I'm just gonna do this for a little bit.
Anyone that ever told me they're passionate about the service industry, I assume is just a lost soul like myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're like, I'm passionate about the service industry. I'm like, I'm passionate about the service industry as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like winking at them.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
also lost.
Yeah, me too. But I was like, I remember I started serving because I wanted to. My grand plan was to start PAing somewhere. Like, oh yeah, I'll just get a job PAing, maybe
Personal
on a set.
assistant?
Yeah, like on a set or something to get into
Ooh,
film or something.
yeah.
Because I had some buddies doing that, and then that was my initial idea. Then I got more into serving, and I forgot about that plan.
So you were working at a pretty big restaurant in Toronto. Were you a manager at Trony?
I was like bar managing. It wasn't like officially like at one point I was supposed to be a supervisor, but it was one of those things where I don't know, the responsibilities was gonna be like too annoying, and I was like I could make more because with serving too. You make more money serving or bartending. Once you start supervising, you make less money.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, because you don't
So
make
it's
as
like
many
a
tips.
demotion kind
yeah,
of.
but it's more like for long term. Like then you're gonna get benefits, or you're kind of like going in that path.
It's sort of like a power trip thing too, right?
Yeah, I can see that. But it's more if you like want to go in that direction. But if you're just doing more, this is just like a couple of years, then you
Yeah.
probably should want to do that.
And this was at the Summerhill Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know a lot of the Trony people. We play there, Robbie and I. We know a lot of the family owners and stuff. So we're familiar with Trony. Love the
Mamalides.
place. Sorry,
The Mamalides.
the Mamalides. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Lennon Heslips.
Oh yeah.
Good, yeah, great restaurant, love it. And I always imagined it kind of being a rough place to work, just because it's like a huge organization
Such a big
and
operation.
very strict on their culture and their
Yeah.
food. I was like, you know what I'm talking about? Like they won't cut your pizza.
I know. Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, any place that doesn't cut my pizza must be like strict in the back room as well. Like I picture like a NHL like NHL team with like rookies and like hazing and like
Well, it was kind of cool because it was like one of the first places I like really learned to serve or like learn about hospitality. And remember my first shift shadowing somebody and someone had like a sandwich. Like, hey, gonna get some mustard? I'm like, no problem. Go to find something. Oh, you need some mustard? And they're like, we don't do that.
Trony doesn't do any of that stuff.
I was like, what?
It's basically
And they're like, no, we don't do any
they don't
condiments.
do any
except olive
substitutions
oil.
or anything. I remember because someone's
Huh?
like, hey, like, can I get this dish, but can I add in chicken?
Mhm.
You're like, nope. That's like, cool. Can I get that dish, but I'm allergic to seafood? Don't order it.
Yeah. Like I literally like felt bad about it for a while until you realize like the thought behind it. Then you're like, okay, now I can explain this and have no problem.
What is
like,
the thought behind it?
The thought behind it is like it's traditional. It's not only Italian, it's Southern Italian. So it's traditional Southern Italian. So
Like mob bosses, you would never ask them to sub in a chicken, right? They
Well,
sub in your own fingers.
their thoughts are more like you wouldn't put ketchup on like, I don't know, some traditional Chinese dish or something. It's like more like,
Yes, I would.
yeah. What's a better example?
Don't
like
test me.
Don't
yeah,
test me. I put mayonnaise on pasta, dog.
Yeah. Or,
How many Italians roll over in their grave when they heard I put mayonnaise on pasta when I was younger?
Fuck, every one of them. But so what would you know, and anytime you would get a table and they request something that you know was going to be a no, what was your answer to them?
well, pretty much like you get very comfortable saying no.
Yeah.
Then it's funny because like we joke about it. If you are not sure about it, you just answer no. It's like, no, we don't do that. Because it's like anything that's kind of like off, like, can you do this for us? It's like, no, we don't do this very, you just go to the same spiel. Like,
Yeah, no,
it's
we don't do
traditional.
that.
It's like set up by
Just
the
be
chef,
quick
blah, blah,
about
blah.
it,
You say I could talk to Don Corleone if you want to make a little adjustment, all right?
Yeah.
I'll
But
talk to the Don.
with a lot of the clientele we got though, they're all like kind of, I don't know, Rosedale people. They're kind of like, a lot of them are alpha. They're like, whatever, they want what they want. And they would just go livid if you say like, they're already
No.
saying it. They're like, I know you're going to say this, blah, blah, blah. And they're like already like fighting with you. And then, I don't know, it would just be kind of a battle kind of
But
thing.
doesn't a part of you, I loved saying no to people.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. You learn to love it. with
People,
those
especially that don't hear no a lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I was a towel boy, I told you about my sagas of working
Yeah,
at a
yeah.
resort that didn't have a lot of towels and getting reamed out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I was basically the whipping boy for this entire resort. Literally a towel boy at a resort with a towel problem. And they would take it out on me, and I kind of liked it. You know what I mean? They're like, can I get a towel? Something a basic human right at a resort. And I'd be like, no.
Nah.
I'm like, you want to dry off? No.
Here's the sun.
You can't.
Sorry.
Like, I hope you packed some fucking towels.
Yeah.
Use your clothes. There's
Sun dry.
sun dry.
I don't know if you've seen, but there's this nice sun up in the
Yeah.
sky right
or,
now.
or when the bar is closing, when I'm working sip bar shifts, there's always a drunkie poos that come up and they're like, yeah, but you can pour another one for me, right?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Yeah. It's gonna be a, give me a no.
Yeah, you're going to pour a couple out for the guys. It's like, you know what? I'm actually going to do no such thing. I know we're hitting it off all night, but truth be told, I'm done. I want to go home and you're shit out of luck.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
they end up saying like, I want to speak to the manager. It's like, yeah, no problem. They're going to
You walk away and you come right back.
Sure, let me
what's
go
the
grab
problem?
them.
Let me
Yeah.
go grab them. You get on the phone, you call it, you ring your own phone. You're like, "What's up?" Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll be there in a sec. You do 360. You're like, "Hey, what's up? Can I help you?" Oh, the answer's still no.
Yeah. Still going to be a no.
So your work at Trony, then you went back to school.
Yeah. So I was training for like 3 years, kind of like was, I don't know, finished with that whole life at a certain point, realized I wasn't going to go any further. And then, yeah, I discovered there's these boot camps, Bitmaker, like a development boot camp.
Yeah, I've had
So-
buddies go through them.
Yeah. So I ended up doing like a few workshops with them, getting into dev, like coding for websites. Yeah, then ended up deciding to do that one full time. So I first quit Toronto, went on a trip through Southeast Asia, and then
Found yourself?
Found myself, namaste, partied a lot. And
Party
then-
a lot. Yeah. Found yourself in the booze.
yeah.
Anything dangerous, crazy? Like, did you almost die? Were you abducted? What happened?
Nothing, the first thing we did, because I always wanted to go like surfing and what really good spots. So we went to Bali, then went to the island next to it, which is Lombok. So we ended up doing like a surf trip through there, and just through buddies' recommendations, like, oh, you want to go here? I don't know, you can try to find some good spots. They're pretty close by. Right when we land there and go there, it's like so like it's not built up at all. Like Bali is still kind of like westernized, but
Yeah.
Lombok's like there's not much there yet, which was awesome. So we dropped our shit off at the hostel. we tell the guy like, oh yeah, we're looking to surf, and then right away they're on us. Like 2 guys like, oh yeah, we'll show you how to surf. We'll show you a good spot, blah blah blah. So like, yeah, throw your stuff down. Like the surf's like looking at their watches, like, yeah, it's up right now, and like, here, just put your suit on. So we're like, okay, so we throw it down, get our trunks and like our towel, jump on the back of these motorcycles. They're like, yeah, it's not too far. So like me and my buddy are just like ripping it through these hills of Lombok, just going to this surf spot, and we're like, we've been there for 20 minutes. We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Immediately getting taken advantage of.
Yeah, but they were nice. I don't know. The one guy was the manager of the hostel. I don't know. Maybe we were being naive, but it seemed like these guys are trustworthy.
Yeah,
so,
I trust everyone.
Yeah, it ended up being a nice
manager's hostel.
20-minute drive, and then like actually a secluded spot. I don't know. Ended up getting up in these perfect waves for like, yeah, it was actually amazing. So we did that for like, I don't know, like 5 days or so. Learned a lot, like how difficult surfing is, like how, I don't know, your body takes a beating. Like my arms were just exhausted like every day.
It's hard.
It's a thrash fest.
Yeah.
We commented on it a bit after our LA trip last year, but the waves were hitting pretty big in Manhattan Beach. I'd say on the face, like I know that they're only 3 or 4 feet as a surf report, but 3 or 4 feet on the face turns into about 6 feet. And the sets come in and they're relentless. And if you don't know how to surf, which like we know how to surf, but on the boards we had in those conditions, fuckfest, I think is a proper term. There was, I told you, there was a point where I was getting thrashed so hard and I couldn't make it through the break and I couldn't get back to my board. And I was like, time to die.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. There's, I mean, yeah, once the break starts coming in and you can't get past the waves where they're like fucking thrashing on you, it's so annoying. It just drives you insane and then you realize like how strong these guys and like how much sort of technique there is to actually getting out past the waves, right?
And just how powerful they're
surfable. Yeah.
Even a 4 foot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine anything bigger, especially with reef below. Like luckily it was sand.
Yeah.
So my face hit a lot of sand.
Yeah.
But I could see how it would be.
And when you're lying there out there on facing the waves, 4 or 5 foot waves look a lot bigger
They're
than
huge.
when you're sitting out on the sand, right?
And even when you're like, I'm going to have to hold my breath, even for 10 seconds, I just started like freaking, like just, you're like, I don't want to hold my breath right now, but you have to. And then you don't know if there's more coming behind it. So it's just like, they say too, like once you start freaking out, then you have adrenaline, so you can't hold your breath as much because your heart's beating faster.
For sure.
So it's like you have to calm down and then hold
It's
your
like
breath.
thanks
It's like,
tips when you're dying. Don't freak out. Like, no, I remember. So I'm in the deep area. I can't touch the ground. I'm getting super tired. I'm getting pounded. I can't get back to my board. I'm so tired. I'm like time to die. What my favorite memories are. So the locals, they will take the nice spots where the wave breaks properly and it pushes you to the flat face walls. And there's times where you'd catch that wave. You're in the right spot finally. The wave propels you. You have that moment where you're like, I did it. And then you realize you're way too high on the wave. You're getting catapulted kind of up and out. And you're like, gonna eat shit.
It's like,
and you have
quick
that
slams.
you have that about 1 second where you're still a part of the fun, but and you really get to reflect on how bad you are at surfing and the Walmart board you're on before you get like crunched, like catapulted board and body straight into the sand. You scorpion, the legs touch the back of your head. The board gives you a nice love tap on the top of the head. And
you know what's worse for me is not even the wipe out there, but just thinking, oh, like I wonder what the locals are thinking of me right now after I just eat shit
Just the
on
ego.
this teed up fucking wave for me.
we saw some like straight up surf locals only fights. We found a really cool place to surf finally in Palos Verdes. Long break with different levels based on like the shore underneath. So we found like waves we could hit all day, but the locals were fighting. They would steal every nice wave from the big spot from you. They would just barge in on you.
Yeah, and they were getting into a bit of a riff with one of the guys who clearly wasn't from there. While we were there, Trav and I were just kind of looking at each other like,
I tried
stay
to
away
maintain
from
a
this
permanent
lad.
smile. That's all I tried to do. Just smile the whole time, and they'd look at me, and I'm like,
Especially when you're like, they're riding their short boards, like they're obviously
We're on
surfers
Walmart rentals from
doing these
Jeffers in Manhattan
big-ass
Beach.
fucking things. They're just like, hey, yeah, just out here right now. I'm like, no worries.
I'm like, I live here too.
Yeah. Luckily, where I was, like, there was one spot we went, like, it was always beach breaks, but we went to one that was on an island that was like a reef break, but it was like a mellow reef, and didn't realize it, but it was like a special time of the year. Like, there was actually big waves coming out. So just happened to be there. Like, didn't even plan on surfing at this island, but like, oh, they're renting boards, cool. Go out there, and they didn't look that big, but I didn't realize how far out it was. So paddle a while.
Kilometer.
Then you get out there, and I'm like, oh, okay, these are fucking huge. And they're telling me like, okay, stay to the left if you want to catch smaller ones. To the right's big. And I'm an idiot. I'm just like, I'm okay. But
Big
so I
Wave
go,
Kev.
yeah,
Also
Big Wave
his
Kev.
nickname.
And then out there, and just like then big sets come in, and you're just like, oh fuck. So you like start paddling toward it so it doesn't crash on you, kind of thing. I actually had like a moment where I was out there. Few times you're just like, you get fucked, and you're just like, now you're away from shore too, so you're like, legitimately, I'm drowning.
The problem with waves too is the fact that, okay, yeah, you know where they're going to break roughly where the reef is, but if the wave's bigger, it's going to break 5 feet behind. And if it's small, it's going to break 5 feet in front. Good surfers can kind of pick it out and hit the sweet spot. Bad surfers, you get sushi rolled, I called it, when you're just in the bottom of the wave and there's nothing you can do about it. And you see Blue Crush where they do like the nice dive underneath the wave.
Yeah.
Can't do that on a 10-foot foam board from Walmart.
No.
You can't. So your only release is to get sushi rolled with it. You
just flip it out like upside down.
You hug it, you flip it upside down, and you pray every time.
I don't know if this is right or not, but what I would do is I just hop off the board and I would dive under myself and just like try and like swim and like hold
then
the
just-
board
the
with
board
my
floats.
leg,
But
but,
then
it's like getting fucked. and I
It's
get
always the
pulled
same
back.
thing. The board gets shot behind you, and you get yanked by your foot back 10 feet
like,
every
nope.
time. It's a violent sport, but it's one of those ones where you just, no matter what, you're having fun, even
Having
getting
fun.
violently
And you're having
drowned.
a good workout in. the
Yeah.
entire
I've been
time.
like the most scared, but I always wanted to get back out there. It's like, yeah, it's addictive for
And
sure.
you were just in Cabo. So you were, the reason why you're now called Cabo Kev, man of many nicknames, is you were in Cabo for your 30th. I loved your 30th birthday outfit.
Oh, thank you.
A play on the dirty 30s. He did a clean 30s party. He went all white out to Cabo clubs.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, clean 30s. And everyone thought you quit drinking.
Yeah.
And you're like, by the way, still drinking. I meant clean just as in like clean outfit.
Just to clear it. Yeah. No, I'm still drinking. Yeah. Not trying to quit alcohol.
But are you still doing the dev stuff and like web?
Yeah. So I've been doing that for the last little bit, but like, it's funny. The people I graduated with, they've all gotten jobs, but since I started working Sip Bar immediately again after finishing. So I was like, okay, this would be good. In between, then I was like, I'm making okay money right now. So I've been slacking a lot essentially. So that was one thing moving into this place, and like now I have a good, I don't know, pretty much setting like a 3-month to 4-month timer. I like need to find a full-time job within this and that much time.
in
So
the
it's just
dev world.
In the dev world, yeah, I would like that.
So that's still your ultimate plan.
Yeah.
Is to carry on with that stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like like even I love Sip Bar, but can't really keep that going for like indefinitely kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is
So
there,
let's see.
so that's cool. I got a buddy that went through the same thing, went to one of those boot camps,
Oh, cool.
applied for jobs for about a month and a half. You do get them.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a diploma, so it was purely from the boot camp and being a good interviewer. And he's working at CIBC now.
Oh wow. There you go.
And he's working on the dev team there for their products. So that's cool, man. We'll help with that. We'll also extract your creative juices like a bumblebee.
Yeah.
But I do want to know some of your opinions on some of our 20-year-old topics,
Okay.
like dating. What did you do in your 20s? Like, what was your philosophies in university, after university? Any long-term girlfriends? Did you ever think you'd settle down? Stuff like that.
Definitely, our university was more just like random, whatever, not really dating.
Fuckboy
but
Kev?
Oh yeah, the big,
Another nickname.
Yeah.
big fuckboy Kev. No, I honestly didn't even like. I don't know. I feel like I wasn't even a huge fuckboy. I consider myself like a late bloomer.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely more recently a fuckboy.
You hit fuckboy late, like 4 years behind everyone, like you've done with everything.
A
Exactly.
little bit of latency.
Yeah. When the 21-year-olds are being fuckboy, you're like, I might try that.
Yeah.
You're like 25, back in
Like,
Toronto.
hey guys.
Hey guys, gonna try fuckboying.
No, I didn't have like a long-term relationship until. Well, it's funny because right when Tinder got big, I don't know, I was on that for like messed around for like I don't know, a couple months on that, and then got into a long-term relationship like right around that time. So I was in like 3-year relationship right when that was like big, and then I feel like since then I've been kind of like
taking advantage of the old apps.
exactly, yeah.
So you never like thought about timelines of like when you should be with people or your philosophy? Like, were you neurotic in your 20s thinking about a lot of these issues, or did you just kind of take it as it came?
Neurotic about what? Like about dating?
So like, yeah, like Robbie, I don't know about at least myself, like I'm neurotic in my 20s about what's the right move. What do I do? You know,
Oh, yeah.
I think about that stuff all the time.
So were you like, during this process, were you like, I should be on this type of timeline, or I shouldn't be fucking, or I should be in a relationship, or were you just...
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, because like, especially when you start comparing yourself, especially in your later 20s, that like, because people start, I don't know, they're actually getting married, they're having kids, that kind of shit. If you start playing, I don't know, it plays your head if you're like, oh, what am I doing? But everyone's on their own thing. So I stopped really caring about that, like, I don't know, like not too long ago. But yeah, previous to that, like if you're definitely like early time dating would always be in my head about what are they thinking? What should I do? Then you realize like, oh, they're thinking the same thing you are. So you're both being neurotic about the same thing. So just fucking chill out kind of thing.
Stop comparing yourself.
Yeah. So definitely I've gotten more at peace with that sort of thing, but definitely again, like it's only within the last however many years kind of thing, gotten comfortable with that.
And
I've only just figured myself out.
Right now you're just seeing someone, you're not in a relationship?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm in the kind of same boat, and the girl I'm seeing, same sort of, we both are neurotic.
Yeah.
And we both are now aware of our neuroticism, and it's actually made the relationship a lot more comfortable.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
To understand each other better.
I'm just like, hey, I'm overthinking this. She's like, cool, I thought about breaking up with you a few times this week. I'm like, love it.
Love it.
Love it. Same. And then we're like, cool, so but we're having fun, so like let's stop worrying about it. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's what neuroticism does. When you're not with the person, you're like, what's my move? Is this long term? Am I going to be in LA? Am I going to be a musician? Like, should I be with someone? Like all this stuff. And she's probably be like, he's got no job. Like, what is he doing? You know what I mean? Like he's like stringing together 5 jobs to pay for his life, and he wants to be a rock star. It gets in your head, and then you just go on a date and you're like, I'm having fun. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Enjoy right now.
Yeah. It is tough to live in that like moment kind of deal.
Are you worried about living with Robbie, Kristen, and me?
Not actually at all. I've been thought about it. Like I was going to say, it's like, should I be worried? Because I'm not worried at all. I'm just like, I feel like it's going to be fun.
What is there to worry about?
No, that's what I mean. Like I haven't second guessed it at all. Even for a second, I'm like, I guess I don't know these guys that well, but I just have a very good vibe about it. Like I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
I'm super
individually.
stoked.
I've like worked with you guys, and each time it's been like, oh, I like that guy. Like,
Oh, always pumped when I see Kev on the shift.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like this. I know what I'm getting when I get Kev on the shift. All right, we both. There's something about just being able to do that, like slacking off and stuff like that. Sure, it's fun and like making jokes, but at the end of the day, like get the job done. I hate not getting the job done and doing a good job.
it's embarrassing. Yeah,
It's embarrassing. Like just and when I don't know, when you work with people and they're like fuck this, or like you're like okay, haha, yeah, but also let's not
like,
fuck it completely. You know, like
It's really not that bad. You know what? You know who's a real MVP is Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Jeff grinds hard, man.
Yeah.
Jeff grinds.
Like
puts
super
up with a lot.
stud. He puts up with a lot. Super chill, easy to work with. Like tonight, he was the man.
Yeah.
We got Fashion
ups,
Week.
Jeff.
Yeah, that's what we're doing this week. Fashion Week in Yorkville. If you're listening to this and you're in the area, we'll be attending bars locally. Come by, say hi, get a drink. I don't think it's open bar. I think it's paid bar, but
It is a paid bar.
We'll throw an extra half ounce in there for you.
yes, we'll. I will airmail you a tall can from across the room. That's the only way I serve tall cans is with a Tom Brady airmail. Speaking of Tom Brady, planted another smooch
on his
on his
coach.
coach. Man, that guy can't stop laying lips.
The guy only has kiss on the lips. He doesn't kiss on cheeks.
Did you lay any prop bets for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we did like a kind of a pool, which for some reason I always come in the top like 3 of this Super Bowl party I go to. I know nothing about football.
I know
whatsoever.
nothing.
But
yeah.
I somehow have a knack for it.
Snow.
I know nothing at all.
Well, it's like when I did my March Madness. I was in a pool for March Madness with a bunch of people. And have I watched a college basketball game in my life? No. Do I have Google? Yeah. I Googled, because you can do this. March Madness bracket, and I copied an experts bracket,
There you go.
and I won.
No way.
Yeah. And I won all the money. And I was like,
It's just that easy.
That's just how you do it. I'm like, who knows better than a big sports expert? No one was too pumped about that, but it was for charity. So a lot of the money went to charity. So I guess it was kind of dope. But yeah. So same deal with prop bets. Do you remember which ones you won?
There was a lot of random ones. Like there was some that were like which commercials will come on and like after the kickoff and that sort of thing.
About how many kisses Tom
Yeah,
Brady would
that
plant.
was
I bet
one
that
of
was
them.
a prop bet for sure.
That was it was a pick six, and they're all kind of crazy shit. Like one was will Travis Scott and what's it called?
Propose to Kylie. Yeah.
That was one, and then another one is will Tom Brady kiss his son for way too long on camera?
Dude, the funniest thing about it is I was hearing on Spittin' Chicklets, they were talking about the Tom Brady clip where he was like getting a massage or something, and his son came over and like planted a peck on his lips, and Tom Brady was like, just a peck? And then the kid was like, oh no, like knowing exactly he's got to go plant a big smoocheroo on his dad.
Yeah.
You know, Tom Brady knew this was on camera too. You know, this whole thing was being filmed for like a documentary. That's why they had the clip.
Yeah, and he smooched his son for a few seconds. Also knowing full well smooched his coach again. I think he doesn't give a fuck.
He's like asserting his dominance on people.
He's a kisser. And you know what? Do it.
All power to him.
You know what? No one's getting hurt except for his son's emotional scarring.
Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe Tom Brady's right.
You know, but I heard this one comment though too. They're like, you know what? Yeah, Tom Brady, he's been photographed kissing his dad on the lips. He's like,
Comes from a long line of kissers.
He comes from a long line of kissers, and you know what? Tom Brady turned out all right. He's got 6 Super Bowl rings, so you know what? His son's probably gonna be fine.
You know, maybe I should start kissing my future kids on the lips
I was
for a
gonna
long
say,
time.
do you think more people will start kissing on the lips
100%.
because of Tom Brady?
100%. There's some families out there, some dads that are kissing their like 4-year-olds too long on the lips so he becomes a football star.
Sons and dads are like, you know, let's give it a shot.
Some real diehard Pats
Should
fans.
we start in the house when we leave and stuff, just long smooches like later?
Yeah. Well, similar to your Juul experiment, we'll start like a kiss experiment for a week.
Oh, speaking of the Juul experiment, little update. It's been going so. I talked to other people, and apparently I'm not the only one experiencing Juul-related controversy. So this is Robbie's girlfriend who quit smoking with the Juul has been noticing that she's been juuling so much that it's making her mouth sore and stuff like that. I talked to some of the people that work at Sip Bar, and they were like, I've had to stop juuling during the workday, like leave it at home. And I'm like, perfect, Juul rule, you're already on the game. And there was another guy who I bartend with who runs a clothing company who said one of his rules is that he picks one day a week to not juul on. So I've decided to incorporate that into my rules. Today was my day, so I went the full day. No problem. It's now tomorrow because it's the next day.
Past midnight.
Also, I'm tired as fuck. And I was like, I've done my full day. I'm going to juul this one out because I'm going to stay up till probably 2 or 3 tonight.
Yeah.
And I think on that note, tired as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Well, my night's far from done. We got to edit up this. I'll go in the studio, lock this video down, get it out.
Kev, put you on the spot here. Any last words of wisdom you want to leave us with?
Well, first I want to say I'm very excited to live with you guys. Like, I've always wanted to be on a podcast. So
I think you're making me want to lay a big smooch on you.
And yeah, let's say that if you want to kiss someone on the lips, like, don't be afraid. Like, if you know what you want, just go for it. Don't be neurotic about it. Yeah,
don't be neurotic. You want to kiss your son or your dad on the lips for a long time?
Kev's an open book.
Yeah. Just do like Tom Brady does, and just win Super Bowls, win rings, kiss on the lips.
Excited to live with you as well. You will probably be on the podcast a bit more often than you probably want to now that you're living with us. We'll do a house tour when it's all set up. Our other roommate, Kristen, was sick tonight, so she couldn't join us. It would have been a sick idea to do a little midnight pod with the whole squad, but that rhymed. But yeah.
We'll save that.
And when in doubt, do as Tom Brady does.
Should we end this with a smooch? I guess we'll see you
next
Tuesday.
the bridge to meet you. Got blistered toes. Good time to kill, I'm a sweet tooth. It's burning up.